Also, when you're done with this, just let me know in the chat box so that we can start the new topic. Okay, Nilesh is saying he's getting error because you have to use you have created order above as the view, no? So why you are doing select star from order detail? Okay, you are creating the view, so create view as select star where quantity is. So you have to use this view, sales summary वाला view use करके question solve करना. You don't have to create another view to solve this. ये this question you have to solve using the view sales summary जो हमने ऊपर create किया. So you just have to write select star from sales summary where quantity is greater than 100, ascending order. Okay, Lokesh. So what you are trying to do is you are creating the okay, query to need query from the view. Okay, so you don't have to create the view such that quantity is greater than 100. View would be same. In this you have to write like यहाँ पे आपको लिखना है to select star from sales summary where total quantity is greater than 100. Yes, because I want to tell you कि views में भी you can use where clause, order by clause, everything. So you have to order by total quantity. See, this is what we have, right? Okay. So Now I think we can move forward with indexes, or I'll wait for 2 more minutes, then move forward. So ये कर लो आप क्वेश्चन एक बार, then we will move.
Hello. Hello. I'm audible.
Okay, yes, Nilesh, you are saying something?
Yeah, see, this number created that said something or agree. But what was the problem with my code? So what I earlier shared with you, create view order above, select from order. Because that query is running properly is
Yes, you
after
can
that
you
view.
can create it like that also. Like, see, we have to filter it. You either filter after creating view, you either filter before creating view. But my idea was to tell you, first of all, that you can use where and order by. And if you are doing everything in, if you make this, filtration and everything in view, then there it beats the purpose of creating a view, right? If you are
No,
creating
I understood. Understood. I created one sales summary and run that query greater than
syntactically, it is
100.
correct. You can create like that also. But
But
if
I'm getting error.
you are using a where clause now with group by, how you have to use having clause, and you have to use total quantity, not normal quantity.
It is. No, but the query is running fine. If below, if I'm remove that view, create view order above, then query is running fine. So only after
So
adding
are
that
you
create
using the
view.
as statement?
Yes, yes. If you see my query,
Okay,
again
can you
pasting.
share your screen? Okay, you have copy pasted this, you are saying.
Yes, yes. Create view order above as select that query.
Okay, let me then check on mine. So this is what you have pasted. You are saying this is running fine.
Yes. From select to find, select to descending is running fine. Create view, there is a problem.
Okay, so it is saying the order by clause is invalid in views. Inline functions derive table unless top offset or XML is specified. So in this, you cannot use order by when creating a view.
Okay. Now what?
And the reason might be that it will take storage. See, what they are trying to say is, and we will actually understand this in indexing. So this is a problem with indexes, and that is how we actually use materialized view. So see, issue here is कि यहाँ तक तो it is fine. You selected, let us say I selected 5 things. This query I have saved. Then I use a where clause. उसमें से 2 चीजें filter out हो गई. This also I have saved, no problem. But in order by, I have to shuffle the order. Then I will have to remember what order is. So let us say it was 1 2 3. I do a order by, and it is 2 3 1. Now I need additional memory to save this 2 3 1. This will require additional memory, and this is exactly how indexes work. So let us understand index, and we will get back to this. So here, I think now we are good to start with indexes. All of you are done with this. So see, how indexes work is, indexes are database objects that improve the speed of data retrieval. They function like the index of a book, allowing for quick lookups. So basically, it sorts the data into particular format, so it is faster for us to find out. Like, let us say I have this thing uh, here. Right now, if I want to find by product ID, and I tell you that I want to get product ID 6, how will I find 6? I will check 6 है नहीं है, but I will keep on checking for 6, and on my 17th attempt I will get 6. But if it was in order, it would have been very much faster for me to find, right? If you have done some binary search or something, what I can do, I can just split into two and I will check 6 से बड़ा है या छोटा है. If it is less than 6, then I will go downwards. More than 6, I will go upwards, and it would make it faster for me to search. Like if I do this here, let us see. Where हटा देते हैं यहाँ पे where clause and just use the total quantity. Right. So here what is happening is that this particular thing is in order by total quantity, and if I want to get quantity 350, I can just split from here and I can see that it is not present. But if this was not the case, I will have to search through all of them, and in the end I will say there is no 350 quantity in the value. So that is exactly how index work. We assign numbers to the columns, sorry, to the rows, and it makes it faster for us to query. Now what I am doing takes only few seconds. I think it shows here almost 000, so it takes almost no time. But when we are working on large database stored in clouds where companies have lots and lots of data, so this can be a problem when you don't have the indexes. That is why we create indexes. Okay, so what are indexes? Like in index of a book, you have this page number 1 2 3 4 5, chapter 1 2 3 4 5. That is exactly how index works. Now there are three types of indexes: clustered, non-clustered, and filtered. Clustered is a default index which mostly work on the index key. In most cases it is the primary key. So this is the default index that is there. Default index means if I have 5 columns, let us say employee ID, employee name, salary, department, and address, right? So clustered index is the main index जो कि एक ही कॉलम पे होगा, because one index can only be there in one column. क्योंकि ऑर्डर बाय तो इसी कॉलम को कर सकते हैं ना, इसको ऑर्डर बाय कर देंगे तो ये शफल हो जाएगा. That is why. So clustered index is the by default index. Each table can have only one clustered index. Okay. Non-clustered index, we can create multiple. So I can create one on this column, then on this column, then on this column. I can create multiple clustered index. But creating these will take additional memory, right? And filter index is just a non-clustered index which include a subset of row. मतलब non-clustered index में let us say it is salary. So यहाँ पर I created a non-clustered index and I have a condition where salary is greater than 50,000. So this is a filtered index. Non-cluster में ही filter कर दिया, so filtered index. Right. So clustered index by default it exists mostly in the primary key. Non-cluster के लिए you just have to write create non-cluster index, name of the column, sorry, name of the index on table name, column name. And similarly you can create using a where filter and you can drop the index also, right? So I will show you an example. I will create one non-clustered index. Okay, but keep in mind it will not make any change in what we are doing because our data set is small. It will, if it was taking 0 seconds, it cannot be faster than 0 seconds. But just to show you an example, I can create index on products table and I will create on product name where product is discontinued. So I can write create non-clustered index, then I will name it as ix underscore na prod and I will create on products. So table name bracket name of the column you are creating. This is how we can create a basic non-clustered index. But because I have a filter clause here, so this is a filtered index. What is the difference? Just add a where clause and you are good to go. Where discontinued is equal to 1. So I can run this. It will create an index. It will create an index. It is there, but I cannot Even if I use it now, or even if I filter based on the basis of this, it will not make it any faster because we already have less amount of data. So I hope this is clear to you what index is, what a clustered and what a non-clustered index is. Any doubt in this particular thing? You can even drop the index while
Actually,
writing.
actually, I'm not getting it. Can please explain cluster non?
Okay, I will explain again. You got index. What are indexes? For now, let us forget this. Indexes, you
So
understand?
what is the difference between the view and index? Index means we are saving those means view, right? Like as you mentioned that materialize view. So in SQL we are using indexes.
No, no, no. See, view is a virtual table and materialized view is a virtual table, but we have created a physical copy, right? Because it takes
Yes.
memory. SQL Server does not support materialized view.
Yes.
So we can use index to create a materialized view in SQL Server. Index is a concept in SQL. It is not related
Okay.
to materialized view. We can use index to create a materialized view in SQL Server because it by default does not support. But
Okay.
index is a general concept in SQL. Okay, index is a general concept in SQL that is used to improve the speed of data retrieval by creating indexes in the column so
Okay.
that it is faster for me to find. It is just like if people are standing in a row, it is faster for you to find. Let us say you have, uh, you know, page number wise things in your book. So you can just find out, like if I say this is my book and you have to book on SQL, you have to find where the subquery topic is. So you will go through each and every page. But if on the
Mm.
index it is written subquery page number 235, you will open the book. You will not exactly open 235, but let us say you opened 271. So you will know that okay, I have to go few pages back instead of going through all the pages and finding where the subquery is. So that is how index work. Now index is clear to you.
Yes.
Okay. Now, first of all, let us forget this and focus on clustered index. Clustered is the by default basic index which is there in the table based on the primary key. ठीक है, and it can only be one because वो by default है, एक ही column पर है, and that is the main one that we have. Right. So let us have created a table. So employee ID automatically by default has a clustered index, and when I will filter out some data based on employee ID, that would save me a lot of time. Right. It is based on the index key, and there can only be one clustered index. This is clear to you what is a clustered index?
Yes, it's a by default means created whatever.
Yes, in the
If you're
index
not
key. So
defining,
it is the primary one. Just like there is a primary key, you can say cluster index is a primary one, and there can only be one of the clustered index. Because see, I have this whole table, I have 10 columns, right? When I will create another index, it will take a separate memory to know कि let us say if it was 1 2 3 and अब वो 2 3 1 में है, so I will have to store this data somewhere, right? Because order by एक बार में एक ही कॉलम पर लगेगा, दूसरे कॉलम में लगेगा, it will shuffle it, right? So that is clustered index. Order में है चीजें in a key. For non-clustered index, we have to create it separately and it takes space. It takes additional memory. And you can create as many as you want. Like if I have 4 columns, I can create one on the salary, I can create one on the employee name, I can create one on the address also. So I can create as many as I want. That is the basic difference. Separate structure that points to the data rows based on the index key. Now I will explain what this point here means. Points to the data rows based on the index key. So let us say I have this table. I have this table and it is 1 2
so
3
index are created on column, क्या particular column of table.
columns. Yes, particular columns, because index is just order by को save कर लिया. जो आप वहां पे कर रहे थे, you were doing with views, you were creating a order by. So I
Okay.
am just saving a order by statement. So by default, so it is there in the index key. लेट अस से फर्स्ट कॉलम पर लगा हुआ है क्लस्टर्ड इंडेक्स. नाउ आई हैव दिस एम्प्लॉय नेम, ठीक है, ई बी सी, देन सैलरी 25 30 40, and then address something something something. ठीक. Now I create a non-clustered index. वहां पर I created on this name column. So by alphabetical order it would be B, C and E, right? अब यहाँ पर if I do B, C, E तो 1 2 3 shuffle हो जाएगा. I cannot do that. So I will have to create this index separately. But instead of creating the whole table, अब BC के लिए उसका 1 2 3 ID, उसका सैलरी, उसका एड्रेस, I don't go through the same. What I do is I create this separate index. I create this separate index and it points to the data rows based on the index key. So it will point B to 2, like it will point B to 2, E to 1 and C to 3. After saving this, I can get all that data directly from the main clustered index. मतलब अगर मुझे एड्रेस चाहिए या मुझे सैलरी चाहिए तो मैं 1 2 3 यहाँ मेन इंडेक्स से जल्दी से फेच कर सकता हूँ. Okay, so index main purpose is to make it quicker. Mostly theory में it is important for you what is clustered, what is non-clustered. Rarely you will create an index or work on an index. So if you are not able to do a lot of this in your server, just remember the definitions and how their difference, that is more than enough in the index part. So is this clear now? And filter index is just filtering it out कि salary को मैंने.
Yes, yes. Concepts, can you show it on SQL what query you wrote there?
Yes, I will show you. So let us go back to the SQL, and I've just create non-clustered index. This is the name of the index on table name, name of the column, and
So it can be
this,
anything. What is the IXNA product?
yes, this can be
Can be
anything. I can even write A B C D 1 2 3, anything that
okay.
you want. Just
On
avoid 1
product.
2 3 because just numbers can give error. Okay, so it could
So
be
on products,
on
on
product is the
products
table name and then
columns.
column name.
So here also we can use conditions where
Yes, still here it is a non-clustered index, and when you use a condition, it becomes a filtered index. Okay, so filtered index is nothing but a non-clustered index with a subset of rows, like using a where clause. Right. So this is the create non-clustered index, and this is how we create. This is how we can create a filtered one just using a where clause. And dropping is the same. Drop name of the index on table name. Right.
so how you will use that index now? This is a further query. So we created that index IXNA plot, and how we will use that index. What is it to do? So like what you mentioned that theoretically, this is a usage of those index. So I want to use now that what we created here, non-cluster index IXNA plot.
Okay. So what I can do is I can do, let us say, order by. Okay. So it is not directly used, like it will not used in the query, but when I will let us say, let us forget this where clause. I just created an index on product name. So when I will do a order by from product name, or where I will use where product name is equal to this, or where salary is greater than, let us say instead of product name I create on salary. And now if I use order by on salary, if I use a where clause on salary, if I use a group by on salary, then it would be faster to execute. That is the basic idea. You cannot, I cannot show you like using index 1 2 or that, but if index is created, it will make the query faster. Now here I have a i5 in my laptop and I only have 100 values in the database, so it automatically is faster no matter how you work.
Okay.
Like if you only have a 10 pages of book, you will find the things faster only, na? But if you have 1,000
Yeah.
pages of book, and then you need an index. Computers are very fast by default, but when we have
Yes.
millions and millions of data that is separated into multiple
at that time
tables,
we can use this.
then these things are useful. So if I after creating this index, if I use a where clause or a join where I use product name, it would be faster. But because I'm already taking 0 seconds, so it will not look faster to you. Okay, that is the basic idea. That is why I'm saying just remember what they are, why they are used, and rarely you will have the practical scenario of creation. Obviously is the case with database administrator. You might not get the access, but you should know what they are and what are the types. Okay, now moving on to what we have been working on is, can I create on two columns at the same time? Yes, you can. If you are using a filter or something, you can create. Like I can create a general one, then I can create a filtered one. I can create two with a different name. If you use the same name, then it can show you error that does already exist or something. Okay. So now materialized view in SQL Server does not directly support, but we can use the index view. So what this schema binding does is, see, all of this is almost the same, right? Just how you create a view, but you use this word schema binding. Okay. And what is this? It binds the schema with the index. Okay. So actually, what will happen? I will create this view. It is a virtual table, does not take any memory. To materialize this view or to create some memory, I will create a clustered index. अब क्योंकि ये व्यू था, तो ये वर्चुअल टेबल था. अब इंडेक्स क्रिएट करने के लिए इट विल हैव टू स्टोर इट एक्चुअली समवेयर, बिकॉज दिस ऑर्डर बाय एज tried by Nilesh is not supported in the views directly because it will take memory. So when I create a clustered index on a view, it will have to download or create a copy of the view. That is how it works. So it is not like we are creating a materialized view, we are just using the index to create a view with a physical memory. Right. So that is what we are trying to do here, bypassing the thing because it directly does not support it. So this is also example, just go through it, but isko bhi as such kuch practice karna is not required. Just remember this, materialized view directly not supported in the SQL. We can create a view, then create a unique clustered index to create a materialized view. Okay. So that is all about views. Theoretically important है, differences पढ़ लेना, but ये hands on is not very important. एक बार देख लेना कि क्या है यहाँ पे syntax, but that is fine. So I think that is all in index. Now CTE is important. ठीक है, so ये कर लेते हैं, and that might be the last topic for today. Views is also important, but mostly you would be working in filtering the data from the views. Creation of views, you might not get the access. ठीक है, mostly database administrator and the experienced person get that. Now CTE is a common table expression by a definition, right? And these are temporary result set defined within the execution scope of a single statement. And the use is just to simplify complex queries, especially recursive one. So it is nothing but simplification of complex query, if you ask me. So how it works? Let us say I have to create a CTE, right? So what I can do, let's go back here, and I want to create a CTE with customer ID and order count, and write a query where order count is greater than 5. Okay. Now what I will do, first of all, I will write a query, select customer ID slash count of order as order count from orders group by customer ID. Okay, this is the okay, what uh, Mhm. Okay, it is not order, it is order ID. Right. So this is what I get. In views, what we did, we created a view out of this, right? Like similar thing, we created the customer ID and the quantity, but here it is order ID. So this is the basic thing. Now the question is, you have to get where order count is greater than 5. So what I do, I write with count quantity as, then I will open the bracket and I will close the bracket. Now this is a CTE and I will write select star from count quantity where order count is greater than 5. Okay. Now this does not mean anything. This will throw error because count quantity is not stored somewhere. It is not a view. It is just a common table expression. If you run this whole, then only it will give you. I think there is a spelling mistake here. So it is with count quantity. So Q, yes, here there is. It has to be quantity, right? So this is what I get. But if I run only this, it does not mean anything, right? So we have to run the whole thing. This particular thing with is called a this particular thing is called a common table expression, CTE. This is the name of the CTE, count quantity. It is not stored anywhere, just like a view. View may it is stored. This is not stored somewhere. Okay.
So it is
This is
like we analyze the table, right? Entire table with quantify like we are analyzing column.
actually no. See, this query, this que- this query here, right?
Mhm.
And I can just write having order count greater than 5. And this is the query that I have. I think order count spelling is wrong. Just to simplify this query, uh, count as order count. Okay. I don't think I can use a where. It will still show me an error. Yes, I cannot use this. So it has to be a group by